Another episode of Brand Decoded Show. Today I want to talk about how to get results fast. And I'm talking about pretty much anything that you do. One of the important aspects about getting the results when you don't know a certain topic or a certain field is you have to figure out with your own God's given pattern recognition capabilities. What is a pattern recognition capability? So, you being able to recognize a certain pattern is giving you an advantage over understanding which game you are playing. Whether you're on Twitter or you're doing SEO or you're posting content on Instagram, if you're observing for the trends and patterns, you will be able to drive faster route to goals. So some of the games are simple. Like you can see most of the game and how it's being played if you're observing Twitter, because the platform is derived as being the open source. And if you're observing the content is being published and you are trying to emulate the successful things and do things that the successful accounts do, you'll get there much faster. You'll have a faster feedback loop than, let's say, SEO. So if you want to get fast results on either of the algorithms, or not just the algorithms, and any game that you're playing, you have to tune your brain in such a way where you are finding these patterns as quickly as possible. You are opening your mind to seeing the waves of energy happening in any given environment. Pattern recognition is something you're born with. You are a pattern recognition machine. Now, unfortunately, 90% of the people are average. And on the Bell's curve, they will have average results. So tuning into the pattern recognition means that you are above average. So if you feel that you are an above average, you need to lean into this natural talent. One of the things that crosses my mind right now is how do you tune your brain to improve your pattern recognition skills? But for anyone who's above average intelligence, their pattern recognition skill is already better than most. So you need to lean into it. So if you are average, God forbid, or below average, even worse, you will need to lean into this talent for a longer period of time. But the thing is, most people don't direct their focus in even observing the patterns, and they're not coming up with solutions from observing the patterns. So even if you're unlucky and you're below average, the only thing that's going to happen to you is that some of the issues that you're encountering or some of the patterns you're recognizing is going to take you longer time to get there. So for some people, it's like really quick and they get the results really instantaneously because they're way above average. So some people might get upset about this, but the games that we play, the sports, the business, politics, all of these are predicated on unfair advantages. And the most unfair advantage that you can have is your God's given pattern recognition capability. So nurture that one and you will drive results much faster in any field that you are in. For me, because I'm in digital marketing and website creation and search engine optimization, pattern recognition was the number one thing that made me all my money. Not going to school, getting education, all of that stuff is nice, and it can accelerate the pathway if you know what you're looking at. But if you don't know what you're looking at, the best thing that you can do is pay people that have been doing pattern recognition game in any specific field, and from there, assuming that knowledge by indoctrinating yourself with the information that is going to lead you to success. So sometimes I've missed certain patterns and it costed me years of figuring it out. So I'm not ideal in this case myself. But one thing that is also accelerating your knowledge acquisition is if you immerse yourself in the content and ideas of people that have done it before. And that's the fastest way to you figuring it out sooner rather than later. Even if your pattern recognition capabilities are not up to par, what you can do instead is that you can observe their educational material and assume their conclusions as your own. This way, you're dramatically accelerating the curve. So if you're average, you might want to pay more for the knowledge than someone who can figure it out on their own. My suggestion, if you are to go quickly to acquire the knowledge base that is going to move the needle in your financial circumstances, is to buy the courses that are specifically trying to solve the problem that you are trying to solve right now. If you need to get more leads, go buy Infinite Deals from Conversion Insider. If you need to get better on Twitter, go follow Dan Koh's content or AOP, Art of Purpose. If you want to do better SEO, go see Nathan Gotch's content or Adam Enfroy Blog Growth Engine. There's like a plethora of good platforms for learning where you can assume somebody else's conclusions. However, nothing's going to be given to you on a silver platter. Even when you buy the content, even when you assume somebody else's teachings and somebody else's aha moments, you still will have to recognize that pattern by yourself. The thing with the modern economy is that these patterns change as soon as the algorithms change. So when you're buying into something and you're indoctrinating yourself into understanding what this other side is teaching you and why it's beneficial for you, you also have to nurture the skill of recognizing new patterns that are emerging in the marketplace. Twitter from 2023 and Twitter from 2024, radically different platforms. There's so many different elements hopping on and going on over there that you can't recognize if you're not plugged into the game. So you need to understand which game you're playing and keep playing that game and being ahead of the curve when it comes to recognizing patterns. That means that your focus and attention has to be on that one thing. And you can holistically approach certain things and learn email marketing and stack it with the Twitter or stack it with SEO, and then you can only then drive results. The picture is bigger. You need to like learn one aspect of the game, become really good at it, and then start growing that aspect of the game into other parts. Only then will you be able to succeed. If you're not winning in any field of the game, that means that you're just mindlessly doing things and hoping that results will come. They will come if you keep consistency, but if you want to accelerate the results and have the unfair advantage, you have to be mindful while you're doing things. It's probably one of the best shortcuts to accelerating the results is if you become present and aware with the task that you have in front of yourself and understanding which game you're playing at any given moment. And this is very, very obvious for the digital world. So if you see that certain type of content's popping up on YouTube, boom, do more of that content. Double down on that style, double down on that energy, and reap the results as long as it's going. It's like I've been doing these videos for 10 days, and every time I post, I get the baseline of 50 to 100 views per post, but I had a couple of posts that blew up, already had 2,500, 3,000 views. It's insane. So I'm following the pattern. I'm not trying to recreate the YouTube or the YouTube format. I just popped one format style and it worked and I kept doing it. So when you find the winner, you just got to double down on the winner and use any mishappenings as a feedback loop to know what you got to change. That's how you accelerate the path to results, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, SEO, content creation, whatnot, email marketing. Tune in to the pattern recognition. Do more of the things that are working. Brian Decoded over and out.